guys, welcome back to the Patreon. Today's video is a what annoyed Kenya this week. I have a few things that kind of happened like last week, so we're just going to combine everything that annoyed me, what's been going on, what have I been seeing, and the one thing I want to say that has been annoying me, and do I want to call names? I do not know. Okay, so there is like 4 influencers who have been going on trips. They're black influencers who have been going on vacations, and I just don't know why they don't understand this is not a good thing to put on their YouTube channel and Instagram. Like, they go on vacation literally every single month. Some of them go on vacation almost every single week, and I'm not talking about going to Aspen, going to Vail, going to New York, going to no, they're going out of the country. They're going to Jamaica. They're going to Turks. They're going to Mexico. And I could mind the business that pays me, but why do they think this is okay? And the thing is, I know all of these people are very active on social media, so they see the tweets that people are like sending them, and people are saying like, why are y'all going on trips? And they still continue to do it. There's this thing, I just don't like it. I just really do not like it. I don't like the idea that they think this is cute and that they are above everything else. In influencer culture, I feel like a lot of people feel like they're above regular people, even though they are regular people who happen to make money off of the internet. And I'm just like, why do you think this is okay? Like, they flaunt it like they're doing something cute. And the worst part about it is they almost do it in a you should be jealous of them type of way. Like, oh my gosh. And like, they'll talk about the COVID like restrictions in their blogs. They're like, yeah, there's COVID restriction there, and you know, I have to make sure I do this so I don't have COVID. It's just like, you doing a lot right now. Like, do you not realize that people are dying? And here's my theory about all this. I think all the influencers I see do this have already had COVID. They've tested positive for COVID before. So they kind of think like they're immune to COVID, or, you know, I've had COVID, I'm over it. And it's just like, it don't work that way. That's the part that's like really like lost on me, why they believe like it works that way, because it literally does not. I don't know, but that has been bothering me to absolutely no end. The number 2 thing that has been bothering me this week is this. Okay, so there are a lot of accounts on Twitter that are like really like big, like even though they're ran by regular people, they're like really big social media accounts on Twitter. And oftentimes we'll find out that these big social media accounts, the person will do a face reveal, or we just know who the person is. And a lot of times the people who run these accounts don't make $1 off of these accounts. Twitter is the worst social media site if you want to make money off of it. You have to really get on Twitter and find a way to monetize your Twitter. So start selling products, start a YouTube channel, start an Instagram, do something, get it on TikTok, do something to make your Twitter like monetizable, because just being on Twitter, you not gonna make no money. But anyways, so these accounts will start crowdfunding. Whether they crowdfund for a car, their college tuition, their anything, they'll crowdfund for. And I'll see their regular like people who don't have money will give to their crowdfund, but these influencers and celebrities who be in these people's mentions don't give a thing. They give absolutely nothing. And the reason why I have an issue with this is because these accounts that are like run by regular people, they give a big boost to a lot of these influencers and C-list celebrities' music career. You usually see them interact with C-list musicians and influencers, and like, they will directly bring attention to everything that this influencer is doing, everything that this C-list celebrity is releasing. But then when they need something in exchange, they're nowhere to be found. Like, you can literally go to a big account that is crowdfunding, go look at their followers and see the very rich influencers that are following them, and see if those influencers have ever given a dime to their crowdfund. More than likely the answer is no, and that bothers me, because it's just like, I know what you're doing. You interact with this account because you know this account has a lot of social capital in the Black community, and therefore you believe that if you get on their good side, they will help you out, and they do help you out. They get people to like you. But then when it comes time for you to have to help that person, you're nowhere. You can't give $100 to their crowd fund. Like, that type of shit bothers me. I am so freaking sorry. Like, you can't sit here and be showing Birkin bags and Louis bags and all of these things, but when someone who has directly helped you wants to crowdfund, you don't try to amp up their crowd. Like, they don't even like retweet their crowdfunding. Like, that's the part that it blows me. Like, you see, like, you and this person mentions trying to act like you just like us. And this becomes the issue with just like us culture. People trying to act like they're just like us. These influencers who are literally millionaires trying to act like they're just like us. This is what I always say. Now that I'm behind the curtain and I know how much money I make off of being like on social media, I can only imagine the people who have 4 times the subscribers as me, have huge Instagram, have huge TikTok, have huge YouTube channels, the sponsorships that they get, the views that they, like, you guys don't understand. If someone has about, let's say someone, I don't want to use any influencer as an example, but anybody who has 1 million plus subscribers on YouTube and they have an Instagram and they're making upwards of $40,000 a month. I'm just gonna say it. They're making $40,000 a month. I am so sorry. That is just the tea of it all. At the very least, these influencers who y'all love on Instagram are making $40,000 a month. They're getting $5,000 to do those sponsored Instagram posts. They're getting $10,000 to do dedicated videos on YouTube. Their YouTube views are getting them $10,000, and who knows what else they are doing. They are making $40,000. These people make $500,000 a year, and they can't give you nothing. You like that? It's so funny because I see people talking to certain influencers on social media. I'm like, if only they knew that these the rich people y'all want to eat. Like, if only y'all knew how much influencers make. It's so fun. Like, people treat, like, everyone knows influencers make money, but people just don't know just how much influencers make of money. Like, now that I know what goes on. I know how the AdSense works. I know how the sponsorships work. I know how it all works. It's just like, these people rich. Key and I rich. These people rich. Like, you don't, like, money has to come so easy to them. Like, they are probably in their emails turning down $10,000 checks every single day because simply they don't have time. That's how much money, like, means so little to them. These influencers are sent for, like they make a lot of money anyways. So that part bothers me that they sit on the timeline and try to act so relatable to people, but when it's time to open their pockets, you're not there. And that means people will come to that. You don't know what they do behind closed doors, but I do know what they're doing in front of the door. And it's ugly. It's absolutely ugly. The next thing we are going to discuss is Kenya Barris and this Cheaper by the Dozen reboot. Number one, Cheaper by the Dozen does not need a reboot. The original one that we love, I was about to say the reboot, but that's an oxymoron. The one that we love, the two that we love, is with Lizzie McGuire. Yeah, those are already reboots, so what's the point of making a third one? Here is the thing. It would be a perfectly fine reboot if everybody in it was going to be black. I said this on the timeline. Like, literally, there are so many people who could be in this movie. Gabrielle Union was the perfect person to put in this movie, but why did y'all not put her with a dark-skinned black man? Like, do you know the power this movie could have had with 2 dark-skinned people in this movie? Like, do you know what this could have done, like, if it just had 2 dark-skinned people in it? Because here's the thing. I knew Kenya Barris wasn't going to hire six black girls. I knew Kenya Barris was not going to find 6 dark-skinned black girls and give them all different personalities and all things to do. He couldn't do it. He could not do it. Kenya Barris is comfortable hiring because now we've already said how there is a lack of black girls on television. So now that Zach Braff, yes, he went deep into his bag and pulled out Zach Braff. You know how many people you have to pass up to get to goddamn Zach Braff? Yes, it is Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union going to be in a Cheaper by the Dozen movie. So that means that all we're going to get is a bunch of biracial children, which is the issue with television right now. A bunch of biracial people they are literally overrepresented in mass media. I'm just going to say they are white and black people together is overrepresented in overrepresented in pop culture, overrepresented in media. There ain't that many biracial people running around here. There is just simply not that many biracial people running around. That is the issue. People always say, y'all sit here and act like dark-skinned girls, dark-skinned men and dark-skinned women don't date in real life. That's the point. Dark-skinned men and dark-skinned women, black people make kids together every single day. Like, there's a bunch of black people running around this earth. The problem is in media, that's nowhere to be represented anymore. It's nowhere to be represented to see just a monoracial couple that is black. It's just not a thing on TV right now. So Kenya Barris had the perfect opportunity to put Gabrielle Union in a role with another black man and show this black ass family doing what black ass family do and it being fun. People have been looking for this type of movie for a while because in the mid 2000s movies like this with black people came out all of the time, but now that's kind of like not a thing anymore. The genre of like black people, I don't want to say black mundaneness because we're about to get into Malcolm and Marie, but the black people like comedy movie has kind of like, think about a Roll Bounce, think about a Johnson's Family Vacation, think about a Big Mama's House, think about movies like that. Y'all remember the mid 2000s, that era of black movies? People really miss those types of movies because I think when we were in it, we didn't appreciate those types of movies because we thought they would always be around and like sometimes they would, but now that we don't really have movies like that anymore because that kind of era of movie is out. Even its white counterparts, movies like that are its white counterparts don't get made like that anymore either. Look at it cheaper by the dozen. They don't make movies like that anymore. Like, you know, Princess Diary, they don't make movies like that anymore. So we're kind of out of that. So this was the perfect time to bring back that age of black movies, those like very tongue-in-cheek cute movies that you watch on Christmas with your family, those types of movies. And this was the time, and he said nope, we gotta like bring in a white man to do this. And it doesn't make any sense because the original movie, like all the movies are about a white man and his family. So what's the point of making another movie about a white man and his family called Cheaper by the Dozen? Like, we could just go watch the one that I'm sure is going to be better, and it's the one with Hilary Duff. Like, come on, like, you're not doing nothing new. Kenya Barris is a plague to this world. He is a terrorist. He is everything that is wrong with this earth. Like, what you literally, when you have 12 kids, he had the opportunity to hire 7 black girls, dark-skinned black girls, and he said no. He said no, I'm going to hire 7 biracial girls, and then I'm going to hire 5 biracial men, and I'm going to put them in the movie. So therefore, Gabrielle Union will be the only black person in the movie. Like, what's the agenda? What is the agenda Kenya Barris is trying to push? It is absolutely exhausting. The next thing I want to discuss is Tory Lanez and Chris Brown doing a song together. These, like, it's so funny that people, when we call out Chris Brown's and Tory Lanez, people call what they did a mistake. It was a mistake. This type of thing, Tory Lanez and Chris Brown being in cahoots, shows that it was nothing of a mistake. There was no mistake in it. They realized that we are both abusers, and you know what? There's protection in numbers. So how about we both come together? We both who have dehumanized black women, let's come together and make a song together. And the thing is, the fact that like men don't care. Like, there's a certain demographic of people who just don't care that Tory Lanez shot Meg, that don't care that Chris Brown been accused of beating several women. Like, they just simply do not care. It's just like, it's the same people who were excited that Kodak Black got out of jail. That's another thing that annoyed me. Like, they were excited that Kodak got out of jail. Like, they just don't care that black men harm women. They just don't care that black men harm black women because they have a deep disdain for black women. And it's just like, okay, like, it's ugly. It's absolutely ugly. And these people sit up here and they're like, oh my gosh, you want their career to be ended just because they made a mistake. Number one, it wasn't a mistake. You don't beat people and shoot people as a mistake. And number two, like, you don't see how nothing happens to their career. They will be just fine. Tory Lanez should be in the unemployment line right now, but he's not. but he's not, because as long as there's people like Chris Brown and Kodak Black in the world, Tory Lanez is going to have an outlet to put his shitty music out. That's just the tea of it all. Next thing that is bothering me, city girls doing concerts in the middle of a pandemic. Are y'all that broke? Are y'all that? Here's the thing. There's been a big conversation about, are certain like celebrities broke, or is certain celebrities making money? They're not broke. They're like, if they wanted to live my lifestyle, they would live my lifestyle comfortably. They'd be fine. They could have them Mercedes, and they could live a regular life. They are not on the brink of homelessness. The thing is, people like the city girls, people like Mulatto, people like that group of people, that Moneybag Yo, even the baby, like those groups of people. Maybe the baby is kind of out of that range, because the baby is kind of like mainstream now, but those groups of people, they struggling. And there's white artists who also exist in this realm, but I'm talking about the black ones. They struggling, because here is the thing, they never expected to go a year without tour money. Another group of people, the people who podcast and go on tour, they struggling. The influencers who used to do meet and greets and get paid hella money, they struggle. The people who used to do live audience setting, because that makes a lot of money. You can go on tour and run a quick $4 million. Like, you can do a festival tour and get you a cute $4 or $5 million just like that. Just like that. So these people are struggling, and even more so than them struggling, the people under them are struggling. Their manager, the people who put all this stuff together, they struggling. So you have a pipeline of people who just struggling because there haven't been live audience types of things, because that's where a lot of people make their money. That's why you see this influx and a lot of people doing a lot of sponsorships. As someone who accepts sponsorship, the sponsorship market has been flooded. Like, people are coming left and right to give out sponsorships, because like that is the main way. Like, it's huge right now. Like, people will do sponsorships right now because people need to do sponsorships, so you can lowball people and give people a lower rate, because like it's just a lot is going on. The sponsorship market has like blown up because everyone's looking for a sponsorship and everyone wants to give out a sponsorship, because sponsorships are helping right now, because it's really the only way you can get out like what your product is. Anyways, so these musicians wanted to live a regular life, they will be just fine. But no, they want bags, they want jewelry, they want shoes, and they don't make the money to sustain that lifestyle. Like, look deep in your mind. How else will the city girls make money? How else will the city girls make money outside of going on tour? There ain't that many songs to be had, so you can't get your little whatever the city girls get paid to do like music, to do like verses. There ain't that many songs to go around to put a verse on. We know streams don't make you no money. Like, they make their money off of going on tour. So when you see all these artists coming down to Atlanta, coming down to Miami, coming down to Texas, whoever will have them to do these concerts, they need the bag. They need the bag. They have to keep up with their lifestyle, and it's ugly. Like, you just gonna have to dial it back a little bit. But a lot of these people's personalities is having more money than you. That's their personality. So they have to keep up with these grandiose lifestyles, and it's just like, okay. Anyways, last thing that annoyed me, this happened yesterday, child. It is the Malcolm and Marie movie. I think I'm gonna do an entire video about this movie, but all I want to say is, what a hot ball of bullshit. That movie was absolutely terrible. I love mess. My boyfriend loves mess. So the thing that kept us even interested in it is the fact that Malcolm was talking reckless to Zendaya. Like, it was funny. Like, it was funny to hear like what's the next ludicrous thing that he was going to say. But this movie, first of all, let's start at the top. Zendaya and the guy JDW have absolutely no chemistry whatsoever. They have absolutely no chemistry. It was weird. And the thing is, you could say it's weird because of the age difference between them, but the age difference kind of played into the story, so you don't mind the age difference. And there can be age differences between two people and there be chemistry. Like, if y'all gonna do the age difference, Zendaya being 24, he being 34, 36, however old he is, you could like you could have like done the read. That's why you do like readings on this. You like go and do a charisma, you do a chemistry reading between two actors and actresses, so you can see, is this sellable? Because if they were like, if it was sellable, I could believe like, oh, these people are in a relationship. But they had absolutely no chemistry. It got to the point where they were like kissing, like when he was like kissing her like ass in the kitchen and stuff like that. It was uncomfortable to watch. It was just like, I don't believe the two of you are in a relationship. And I guess that's the main issue with Malcolm and Marie. With movies like this, you're supposed to believe that the people are in a relationship, and like they're in a relationship before you meet them, and they're going to be in a relationship after you meet them. And I believe the 2 hours of this movie is the only time these two people knew each other. I don't believe that these two people are in a relationship for 5 years. You mean to tell me this relationship has been going on for 5 years? I didn't believe the backstory of Zendaya being like on drugs. I don't believe the backstory of him having films. Like, I didn't believe the world that was put together. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe through the dialogue that these people knew each other. It didn't feel like these two people knew each other. Random little tidbits. Why did he bark at Zendaya in that one moment? Why did Zendaya use the bathroom outside? Like, it's just a lot of moments that I'm just like, there were choices made. Sam Levinson is a plague to this. He goes in the Kenya Barris and Tyler Perry thing. He's the creator and writer of Euphoria. He sucks. He absolutely sucks. What was that stupid line about Barry Jenkins? I would die behind Barry Jenkins. So the fact that he will use Barry Jenkins and Spike Lee's name in this bullshit to make some bullshit ass point. And the thing that everyone has been pointing out, there's a monologue that Malcolm does in this movie, in which he's cursing out this critic from the LA Times. This woman from the LA Times is a white woman. Here's the thing. If we're going to play in the oppression Olympics, black men are way more oppressed than white women. Therefore, black men can say anything they want to say about white women and no one gives a goddamn, because white women's life is amazing compared to black men's life. Therefore, what Sam did with this movie was he wanted an outlet to bash white women, and their criticism and them being bad critics. That is what he wanted to do. So he used JDW to get that across, because he as a black man can do that. So that dialogue between he and Zendaya is them basically trashing white people. Now, if a white man sat there and trashed a white woman and called her a white bitch and called her a cocksucker and all this brain dead bitch, all this stuff, he would look absolutely crazy. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Sam? But because it was coming from the lens of a black man, it was acceptable. But the thing is, it just felt fake. I refuse to believe that a black man is this upset that a white woman gave his movie a bad review, or a white woman gave his movie a disingenuous review, because no one, like, black men expect white women to do white women things. Like, that's the thing. The whole movie was disingenuous. Like, the relationship was disingenuous. Everything about this was disingenuous. I don't believe two black people act like this. I am absolutely so sorry. Like, they're not about to sit here and be this pressed over a white woman at the LA Times. Like, it's just not a thing. Like, the way they were talking was very like back and forth. It just felt like a script reading. Like, I felt like I was at the table reading of Malcolm and Marie instead of watching the movie of Malcolm and Marie. This movie loved itself more than any viewer would ever love it. Like, Sam fell in love with this premise more than you and I will ever fall in love with the premise, because this movie was a self-insert. This was a way for him to get his emotions across, and he thought it would be deeper and more complex because a black man said it, and that puts this movie in. This movie is blackfishing. This movie is about white people, but it is using black people to like say it because it feels like it's cowardly. Sam was being cowardly when he made this movie. Like, he wanted to say something, but he was a coward about it, so he got JDW to do it because he knew JDW was black and he thought JDW could deliver the lines. Well, he didn't. And so that's why he did it. It's just a movie that is blackfishing. It is not about niggas at all. It is about a white man and his problem with the film industry, and he's mad that everyone hates fucking Euphoria because it has little kids having sex and don't nobody want to see that bullshit. But the thing is, like, if I speak. Maybe he's mad because Zendaya won an Emmy for Euphoria and he hasn't gotten there an award for Euphoria, like the writing, the script, the nothing. I don't know. He's not getting nominated for Emmys for best, like this, best, like no one cares. No one cares, I guess, and that's why he's upset about it. But no, like, let it go. Let it go. That is what annoyed Kenya this week. I will see you guys next week for another rendition because something is always on my nerves. Bye.